A police chief walked into Judge Judy's courtroom, believing the badge on his chest made him untouchable. He was not nervous. He was not respectful. He was not even pretending to be concerned. Chief Daniel Brennan entered the courtroom in a perfectly pressed uniform, shoulders back, chin lifted, moving like a man who expected every person in the room to make space for him. To everyone else, it looked like a simple traffic case. A red light citation, one police chief, one officer who had written the ticket, but Judge Judy knew better, because for 3 years, quiet reports had been reaching the court. Officers afraid to speak publicly, citizens afraid to file complaints, business owners who said evidence disappeared when powerful people were involved. And at the center of every whisper was the same name, Chief Daniel Brennan. That morning, he thought he was there to beat a traffic ticket. He had no idea federal agents were waiting just outside the courtroom doors. The case file looked ordinary on the surface. Chief Brennan, 48 years old, had been cited for running a red light at Highland and 7th just before midnight. The officer who issued the citation was Officer Rachel Parker, a 29-year-old traffic officer with 6 years on the force. The paperwork was clean. The citation was properly written. The dash camera footage supported the officer's report. But Brennan did not walk in like a defendant. He walked in like he owned the building. His attorney, Gerald Whitman, stood first when the case was called. Your Honor, my client pleads not guilty. We believe Officer Parker made an error in judgment, and we ask the court to consider Chief Brennan's 26 years of public service and his reputation in this community. Judge Judy placed her pen down and looked directly at the police chief. Chief Brennan, is your attorney speaking for you, or do you have something to say? That was his first mistake. Brennan lifted one hand and waved his lawyer aside, as if the man were unnecessary. Your Honor, with respect, this case is a waste of everyone's time. Officer Parker is young. She is inexperienced. She clearly did not recognize my vehicle. I have already spoken with her supervisor about additional training. The courtroom changed instantly. Judge Judy leaned forward. You spoke with her supervisor about her training because she cited you for running a red light. Yes, Brennan said confidently. Young officers can be overzealous. They do not always understand how things work. Judge Judy's eyes narrowed. Explain to me how things work. Brennan smiled, not a nervous smile, a comfortable, arrogant smile. I have been in law enforcement longer than Officer Parker has been alive. I run this city's police department. Sometimes circumstances require quick decisions. Sometimes traffic laws become secondary to public safety. Were you responding to an emergency? Not exactly. Were your lights on? No. Your siren? No. Were you driving a marked police vehicle? It was my personal vehicle, but I was handling department business. What department business required you to run a red light at 11:45 at night? Brennan's smile faded slightly. I do not think I need to explain my duties to this court. And there it was, the words that revealed who he really believed himself to be. Judge Judy sat back, slowly. Actually, Chief, you do. You are in my courtroom because you are accused of violating the law. Your badge does not excuse you from answering questions. Brennan's jaw tightened. Your Honor, I think you are missing the bigger picture. Then show it to me. His attorney tried to touch his arm, warning him to stop talking. Brennan ignored him. I have been chief for 12 years. I know every judge in this courthouse. I play golf with the mayor. I have dinner with city council members. I run law enforcement in this town. When I make a decision, people understand that decision is made for a reason. The courtroom went silent. Even the court reporter paused for a fraction of a second. Judge Judy removed her glasses and cleaned them carefully. Anyone who had watched her courtroom before knew that gesture meant she was controlling her anger. Chief Brennan, she said, did you just tell this court that traffic laws do not apply to you because of your position? Brennan finally realized he had gone too far. That is not what I meant. It is exactly what you meant. You believe your position places you above the law. His attorney jumped in. Your Honor, my client misspoke. Judge Judy raised one finger. Counselor, your client is speaking for himself quite clearly. What Brennan did not know was that Judge Judy had been waiting for this moment. Officer Rachel Parker was not the first person to report him. She was one of several. Over the past 3 years, stories had formed a pattern. Officers who questioned Brennan were punished with dangerous shifts. Complaints from citizens disappeared. Business owners who challenged the department suddenly faced code violations. Evidence had a strange way of vanishing when Brennan wanted it gone. Officer Parker had done what others were too afraid to do. She documented everything: audio recordings, dash cam files, internal emails, transfer orders, threatening messages, reports altered after complaints were filed. Then she contacted the FBI. For 18 months, Special Agent Patricia Mills had been building a federal case: abuse of authority, witness intimidation, obstruction, civil rights violations, evidence tampering. The agents were waiting for the right moment to move, and Chief Brennan had just given them that moment in front of a courtroom full of witnesses. Judge Judy looked toward the back of the room. The doors opened. Special Agent Mills walked in with her credentials visible. 3 federal agents entered behind her, taking positions near the exits. Brennan's face changed, first confusion, then panic, then fear. His attorney went pale. Agent Mills approached the bench. "Your Honor, I apologize for the interruption. We have a federal warrant for Daniel Brennan on charges including corruption, abuse of authority, witness intimidation, and conspiracy to obstruct justice." She turned toward Brennan. "Chief Brennan, you are under arrest." The words landed like thunder. Brennan stood frozen. "This is insane," he said. "You cannot just walk in here and arrest me." Agent Mills did not blink. "We can, and we are." Judge Judy looked at him from the bench. 3 years ago, Officer Parker contacted this court because she was afraid. She said you were retaliating against officers who questioned you. She said you used your position like a weapon. Brennan's eyes darted around the courtroom. She was not alone, Judge Judy continued. 6 other officers reported the same pattern. Citizens did too. Business owners did too. You built a department where people feared the chief more than they trusted the law. Agent Mills removed handcuffs. The metallic sound filled the courtroom. Brennan's voice cracked. "Your Honor, please. I have a family. I have a career. This will destroy everything." Judge Judy stood. When she stood, everyone knew the moment mattered. "You are worried about your career? Let me remind you of the careers you destroyed. Officer Parker was punished after questioning your conduct. Officer Ramirez was transferred after filing a complaint. Officer Hall lost his job after refusing to falsify a report." Her voice sharpened. "And what about the citizens? The woman whose assault case collapsed because evidence disappeared. The business owner who complained about harassment and suddenly faced inspections every week? You want mercy now because accountability finally found you." His attorney tried one final time. "Your Honor, my client requests." "Your client is done talking," Judge Judy snapped. "Talking is what brought him here." Agent Mills moved closer. "Daniel Brennan, you have the right to remain silent." As she read his rights, the courtroom sat in complete silence. In the back row, Officer Rachel Parker began to cry. Not because she was sad, because for 3 years she had lived under fear. Fear that her career would end. Fear that no one would believe her. Fear that a man with power would always be protected by that power. Now she watched him in handcuffs. When Agent Mills finished, she asked, "Do you understand these rights as I have read them?" Brennan nodded weakly. "I need a verbal answer." "Yes," he whispered. The agents began leading him away. Judge Judy stopped them. "Chief Brennan," he turned back. "You told this court you run this town. You told us everyone knows your decisions are right. You told us laws become flexible when you decide they do." She paused. "You were wrong. You never ran this town. The law runs this town, and today the law caught up to you." His face collapsed. Then something happened no one expected. Officer Parker stood, every head turned. She walked down the center aisle in full uniform, her badge catching the courtroom lights. The agent stopped. Brennan looked at her with the same eyes that had intimidated her for years, but now he was the one trapped. She stopped in front of him. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she saluted. It was not respect, it was closure. A silent message that his command was over. His power was finished. She had survived him. Then she turned toward Judge Judy. "Thank you," she said, and she walked back to her seat with her shoulders straight. The agents escorted Brennan out through the side door. The sound of that door closing felt final. The gallery erupted into whispers. Reporters began typing frantically. The story would reach local news within minutes and national news soon after. Judge Judy addressed the courtroom. "What you witnessed today was not a celebration. It was a reminder. A badge is not a crown. A title is not immunity. Power does not place anyone above the law. It creates responsibility." She looked around the room. Chief Brennan believed fear would protect him. He believed connections would protect him. He believed people would stay silent forever. He was wrong. A law student raised her hand nervously. Your Honor, how did you know he would incriminate himself? Judge Judy looked at her. I did not know. I hoped. Arrogance is predictable. People who believe they are untouchable usually cannot resist explaining why. The courtroom emptied slowly. People left with stunned faces. Some were crying. Others looked relieved. Officer Parker was the last to leave. At the doorway, she looked back once and gave a small smile. Judge Judy returned to chambers, but the day was not over. The phone rang. A nervous female voice spoke. Judge, my name is Rebecca Torres. I am an officer in Brennan's department. I saw what happened today. I have information about other cases, evidence he destroyed, complaints he buried. I have been documenting things, but I did not know who to trust. Judge Judy listened. Officer Torres, call Agent Mills today. Tell her everything. The FBI can protect you. I will, the officer said. I just wanted to say thank you. Today showed me that standing up to him is possible. That call proved the arrest was only the beginning. Once Brennan fell, others began speaking. Officers came forward. Citizens filed statements. Old cases were reopened. Some convictions were questioned. Some dismissed complaints were investigated again. The department Brennan had controlled for 12 years began to reveal how deep the damage went. But the most important lesson was simple. Corruption survives when everyone believes no one will listen. Officer Parker spoke because she still believed someone might. Judge Judy listened because she understood that the smallest case can hide the biggest truth. A red light ticket exposed a police chief. A courtroom statement triggered a federal arrest. And one arrogant man who thought he ran the town learned, in front of 73 witnesses, that the law does not kneel to power. It waits, it watches, and when the truth is strong enough, it walks through the door wearing an FBI badge.